Welcome back to my sixth video. Hopefully, I'm remembering correct. This is my sixth video. Uploaded my fifth video yesterday. I'm trying to be consecutive with my consistency. Let's hope that I remain consistent. I didn't check how my previous video performed, but nevertheless, I was itching to make a video today. So today I'm going to talk about one of my most persisted interests. That's fighting, especially mixed martial arts. I had discovered MMA during the age of watching WWE. I have heard its name and seen a few clips here and there once. I was particularly interested into the world of fighting. And after graduating from class 10, for various reasons, I began self-training in martial arts. I became decent. You can call me a beginner. So my next step was consuming fighting material. So I went to MMA because what I was essentially learning during my journey was mixed martial arts. I began first with taekwondo, then with boxing, then with traditional karate. I mixed wrestling, jiu-jitsu and judo stuff. Not really high level, but I know some neat tricks, especially in taekwondo. At my prime, I could do a 540 hook kick. So that was pretty decent. At my prime. That prime wasn't long ago, it was like maximum 2 years ago. I can still do that if I try. I haven't done that in a while. So let's just excuse all of that. So if you're going to ask me who is the greatest fighter of all time, the general consensus says John Jones. I haven't watched much MMA for my opinion, so I don't know. But if you're going to ask the MMA community, it's John Jones. But who is my favorite fighter? That's for certain I know who he is. And that's Sean Strick. That's a very that's a very surprising answer for the favorite. If you're going to ask any other MMA fighter who's his favorite, he's probably going to tell you fighters that are currently active like Islam Makhachev, Ilya Topuria, Alexander Volosky, and maybe fighters who have recently retired like John Jones, and maybe fighters like BJP, and maybe fighters that I've never even heard of that were not active during my period. But Sean Strickland isn't a fighter that you would expect to come out from their mouth. But yeah, I'm the odd one here. I like Sean Strickland. And I'm a fan of his fighting style. But his fighting style isn't the main reason that I like him. The main reason that I like him is his brutal honesty. People think that Sean Strickland is a psychopath. No, he isn't a psychopath. He just pretends to be a psychopath. What the image he's selling on the screen is just exaggerated. He's a decently kind person who's dealing with his demons and trauma and living a good life. And what I like about him is his brutal honesty and his courage to stand up against anything that he doesn't like. And sorry for not speaking. Forgive the interruption. Maybe his ideas are wildly controversial and people will not like them. But I see him as a prominent go- governor of free speech, and that's why I like him. He says everything in his heart. He doesn't censor it, and now you can argue it's cons, but I still like him for who he is. He isn't pretending like many celebrities would do, and I hate that pretentious attitude that many have. This is the reason why I hate Eileen Go. I see that she's having a pretentious personality. She isn't who she presents. She's not embracing herself really. And Sean Strickland is. I definitely it's cartoonishly exaggerated. He's not like that, of course. But he's still a good guy. Maybe I don't know about meeting him, talking to him. I don't think he will love me because he hates migrants and my personality isn't particularly the macho type. But still, he's a good man. And he's really intelligent. You could see him there, the way he gives advice and philosophizes. He sometimes gives very deep insights. And I like him. I also like him because of Nina. So, Nina Drama is the reporter and influencer inside the UFC. And she brings many fighter interviews. And she was the one to launch Sean Strickland, or Sean Strickland launched Nina. It was a collaboration, and a collaboration well received, at least in the beginning. People loved the dynamic. Sean Strickland was unhinged, and Nina was this funny, charismatic personality that would really well balance Sean Strickland's chaos. And yeah, Sean Strickland has issues, but still love him. And the other reason that I love him is I think people underestimated him. That people didn't think that he is going to win. And I don't know, I have this kind of affection for people who are underestimated. Maybe I view him as a hero because I like narratives. I like narratives that are unpredictable. Maybe when Sean Strickland fought Israel Adesanya, no one made the right mind. So I'm going to say that Sean Strickland is going to win and win in a dominant fashion. And when he won against Easy like that, he really made an impact on me. Plus his story, his backstory isn't really rosy. He he was a victim of he was a victim of trauma. He overcame it and became a good person. He's happy that he's living his life. And that did really inspire me. No, I'm not being traumatized or anything like that, but it still helps. I mean, compare it to Island Goo. My God, the perfect life, the perfect Goo, and the perfect everything. That's why I don't like about Island Goo. She is being pretentious and secretive and stuff like that. I don't like that kind of stuff. And the one thing that I absolutely hate is being pretentious. Not being comfortable in your own skin, not presenting the world who you are. And I think, I don't know, maybe I feel that way because I am not able to present the world who I am too. I don't know, I'm going too deep. Perhaps I don't know who I am. This is an identity crisis, and I really like people who know who they are and who are presenting it to others. And I despise people who hide themselves knowingly. It's, it's hard to put this into right words. Nevertheless, recently Sean Strickland came back and won. He was on a back. Yeah. The dude went ahead and attacked a fighter. It was nothing really serious, just a scuffle. And he has good friends. Though Sean was really, really angry with that fighter, he had a friend who came between them and sorted everything out. People don't particularly like Sean Strickland. He used to be loved in the beginning for his honesty and hot takes, but as soon as he started speaking against people that he didn't like against that bald guy, what's his name? I forgot that Navy SEAL. He didn't like him, and he told it as it is, and people didn't receive it well. And then many people accuse him of being a crybaby because he can dish it out, but he can't take it. And maybe that's kind of true. But honestly, I think the only moment that he wasn't able to take out was when Rekus went after his father. And I think that was a low blow. That was a low blow. That is a really low blow. But then again, you can argue that Sean has gone ahead and said all kind of stuff. But I think whatever he says is more general. Maybe I'm being biased. Like about race and stuff, and about immigration and stuff, and about being sexist and stuff. It's more generalized. But like Dracus Duplessis went after his father, and that was as worse as one guy targeting the father of other. Like it was, I forgot who it was. So yeah, in the end, I love him, and I know kind of